This is how I live on only 245 Singapore dollars a month, living in Korea for 3 months. Even though I spent as little as possible, it doesn't mean I didn't do anything. I even went to Busan and Jeju too. In this video, I show you the cost breakdown, some mistakes I did, and some hacks I learned in case you're planning your own trip to Korea as well. For example, the bus to Busan is about 4 times cheaper than the KTX train, and the KTX is the 2-hour train, and there's also the standard train which is called ITX. It's the same time as the bus, but still twice as expensive, so the economy bus is the cheapest option to Busan. I spend most of the money on food and transport and very little on shopping and activities.
It's only 5,000 won.
For example, the ice skating at City Hall is only 89 cents an hour. It's almost like 20 times cheaper than Kallang. I also did 2 hikes to Sape-san and Bokkan-san with a couple of strangers I found on the Meetup app. These are 100% free. For exercise, I joined a cycling group and ran with Adidas Club for free instead of buying a gym membership. Oh, the Adidas run even had free coffee and buns after the run. I spent 29,000 won on my 28th birthday. Yeah, that's probably the biggest spending day. But it's okay, I spent it with a few people I met at a Christmas party, and after that I joined a board game cafe with strangers. I found it on Meetup as well. I chose to volunteer at a guest house instead of getting my own private room. The volunteering is only 2 days a week, so it was an amazing deal. And there's free laundry and basic food like rice, ramen, oats, jam, Nutella, coffee, tea, peanut butter, and orange juice every day. More importantly, hanging out with the other volunteers made it a lot less boring. The only shopping I did was just to get gifts for my relative, which only cost 1,000 to 3,000 won. That's like less than $3. At the start of the trip, I spent like over 10,000 won per day on food. Luckily, I quickly discovered Korean buffets which go for 7,000 to 10,000 won. If I eat one of those buffets, I wouldn't eat out the next few days. So one buffet kind of covers like 3 days of eating. I just eat the free ramen from the guest house. In some grocery stores, they will knock the price down for produce when it gets old. For example, I bought 4 bunches of bananas for 80 cents each. Actually still in great condition, only the outside is brown. One mistake I made was not buying the climate card from the start, which is 62,000 won for unlimited rides for 30 days. Especially when it got cold in the winter, I would have used that instead of commuting on my bike. By the way, I brought my own bike from Singapore. No additional baggage fee because it was within the first free checked baggage allowance. And since you can only top up the travel card with cash, I shouldn't have used my cash on food. I didn't have enough in the travel card to go back to Incheon Airport. Luckily, the bus driver was able to deduct the money from my trust card when we reached Incheon Airport. The trust card was so clutch because there is no FX fee. So if you haven't got your trust card, use my code because both of us will get a sure win cash reward. There's no annual fee, so just get it even though you may not have a trip planned. I mentioned I spent my 28th birthday in Korea. It's actually my first birthday overseas, and thinking about having only 2 years left in my 20s makes me regret leaving my job before I was financially independent a whole lot less. Oh, by the way, I left my job when I was 26, 2 years ago. Yeah, saving more than 90% of my salary when I was working was definitely the right decision, and I wouldn't have done it any differently. Now I can slowly start to have lifestyle inflation just a little bit and see what my last 2 years in my 20s will bring. I know I haven't updated my investment progress in a while because I don't think I want to share my exact figures anymore. I have majority of my portfolio in the US market, which historically makes more than 10% a year. Actually closer to 15% for some tech ETFs. But if I just take a conservative 10%, you could say I'll be getting about 3k plus a month as unrealized gains. Of course, this doesn't mean I see an extra 3k plus a month in my portfolio every month. Some months can go down too. So far since I left my job 2 years ago, I haven't touched my investments at all, and all my dividends were reinvested. So this Korea trip was fully paid by my other income streams. So how much did I pay for the trip? The flight from Singapore was 387, so that making the total trip cost 1,354 for 82 days. But if you want to know how much it cost me just to live in Seoul a month, then I should minus the Busan and Jeju costs and the flight, as well as the flight from Singapore, and that is only $589 over 72 days, or $8.20 a day, which is $245 a month. So that's how I got that value. Remember, it's not including the flight. I never knew living overseas could have been this cheap for me. Maybe I should do this. I think the next time I do this, I might go for more meetups, especially the paid ones. And I hope to do this a bit more often and perhaps meet my friends I made in Korea again.